Hi, I'm Zen Teh. I'm an artist and educator. I work in the area of the environment. So quite often I do interdisciplinary projects that study our relationship with nature in different kinds of contexts. I study the scenarios where there are human and nature tensions or other alternative relationships that we can learn from. I also, in order for me to kind of respond and raise awareness and talk about these issues that I found through my investigation, I use a lot of photography within my work to capture some of these observations that I gathered, and coupled with those investigations that I understand from collaborations, that I start to depict some of these scenes and some of these emotive response that I gathered from the research. So what happens is that I try to explore the boundaries of what this photographic medium can do. How does it work with other kinds of materials and other formats? So you will see them, my works being mapped out onto sculptural forms. You also see them taking shapes in terms of spatial immersive installations. I do a lot of collaging as well because of my painting background. The photography then also becomes a medium that can be added or composited together to tell a story that is longer than its length that I capture of a particular moment. So in this exhibition, I will be presenting an existing work, and this series is called State Palimpsest. State Palimpsest is a series of photographic sculptures, as I term it. They are sculptures that are made of found luxury stones from factory discards, and photography in the sense that I mapped through a technique that I've devised for over a year, how to print images that are inspired by former Kampong residents' accounts onto these found luxury stones. This project actually started from my conversation with my mom and Nicole, who works with me on this project. She's an architectural researcher. And two of us started to interview people who used to live in kampongs all around Singapore. And my mom used to stay in a kampong called Kampong Cantik. So if you know how to translate the word, right? Cantik, it means beautiful. Right, so it's a beautiful village in that sense, because we have no idea, having grown up in a Singapore that has already transformed drastically, that we no longer see some of these traces of the past, and we wonder how it used to look like and how people used to be. But this is also their playground, right, in that sense that they would jump almost daily into this river stream, and they will catch like small fishes and prawns. And then she also tells of other stories where she will climb onto rambutan tree, right? And then they will sit on the rambutan tree and just pluck and eat, and then just throw anywhere and let the seeds be, or until they are full, right? And I'm just thinking to myself, have I ever climbed a tree? Have I gone into a river stream and do anything like that? And that got me thinking that how was Singapore like before? Because right now we are staying in a space where, in terms of the urban planning, we are quite segregated from nature. I mean, the notion of nature is also quite subjective, right? It's a kind of shifting baseline of what is natural. So I was interested in what constitutes nature and how our spaces used to look like, and how people will interact with these spaces quite differently. For me, I really wanted to be able to imagine myself living in such situations. So in order to really imagine, I need to get photo references. So we also have, apart from interviews, we also couple the interviews with like Google search images. A lot of these images that came about look like landscapes from everywhere else in the world. So it makes me also question about our sense of place and identity to the land, to Singapore as well. And I think these are the questions that came about through the making of this work. And the sculptures that came about with the interviews, we try to get them to be very descriptive. Then with those very vivid visual accounts, I would try to find landscapes that still exist in Singapore that will resonate with their accounts that they mentioned. So some of these landscapes that you see mapped onto these rocks are representative of what they shared with me. And in fact, it was quite challenging to find these landscapes that resonate with their account. So I had to use a lot of camera angles to get it like really low angle, to look like there is a sense of depth. So they really kind of resonates with the idea of palimpsest, right? If you look at ancient writings on like cow skin, right, before paper was being made, people would write and then they will try to erase so that they can rewrite again on these surfaces. But it's hard to completely erase, okay? So you will still see marks of that writing from previously. So the same notion of palimpsest is what I was thinking about memories and associations and our relationship and connection with the land. And those accounts that I gathered from former Kampong residents are the palimpsests of the past, and how that still can or cannot be found in what we have today in modern Singapore. I hope you will enjoy my works at this exhibition. Stay curious, stay critical, and keep thinking. Thank you.